We're gonna call to order the regular board of directors meeting of the Umpqua Public Transportation District, Monday, April 20th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. Roll call.
Doug Mendenhall,
Here.
Gina Bean,
Here.
Natasha Atkinson. Here. Michaela Hammerson. Bill Hagedorn,
Here.
Bill Morton,
Here.
and Greg Kennerly.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, Bill, do you wanna lead in the pledge of allegiance? Sure.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so our first item on the agenda is executive session per ORS 192.6602F to consider information or records that are exempt by law from public inspection. So at this time, we're gonna ask anybody that is not a member of the press or the board to go ahead and go out to the waiting room if you're online, and then also to go outside if you're present in here. And it doesn't look like we have any press present today.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we are now going to resume the public portion of the board of directors meeting.
And I'm still recording that.
Yes.
Another past.
Are we good to go?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to make a motion. That we, the board, request that Michaela Hammerson, Director of Position 2, return all district property in her possession or in her control, including all and not limited to executive session and special sessions board meetings within 10 days. If she doesn't, the board directs the legal counsel to prepare a censure resolution.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Oh, sorry.
Can
go
I-
ahead, Lauren. Yeah.
The word minutes, I didn't hear the word minutes. He said all meeting, special meeting and executive session meeting, but he didn't use the word minutes that I heard. So just make it clear that it's the minutes.
Yeah.
And audio recordings, if they exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you want him to restate it, or can, Amir, did you get all that?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got it all already.
Yeah, as long as the maker of the motion and the person who seconded it agree with those amendments, you're good to go.
I agree.
I agree.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Greg and Doug, you were both aye, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
motion passes unanimously. Okay, so moving on to the consent agenda, does anybody have any discussion or changes, or are we good to vote on, make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
May I have, go ahead, Bud,
I'll second it.
or Bill, okay. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda and a second, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Right, Jennifer, did you have a update for us?
I do. Just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the grant opportunities that are coming up. Sherry's gotten in several of the grant applications that are available. We had one that was due today. It's a discretionary competitive grant that is for buses or for services that might have been reduced or facilities. So that one was due today for the initial application. There'll be a review, and then Sherry will have the opportunity to make any modifications that they suggest before those final are turned in. Those are discretionary grants that have come in. First one came in 4.3, the second one 4.20. Those are statewide competitive, so you're competing against all other grantees across the state. for those funds. So I think that the grant applications that Sherry put in are really good. She put in a lot of detail, so we're hopefully going to be able to score really high on those. The next grants that are coming up are going to be for your formula funds for the 27-29 fiscal years. So those are for the 5310. Those are for older adults and individuals with disabilities. And then the 5311, which is mostly for fixed route type services. So those two are coming up and will be, initial applications will be due in mid-May. So lots of grants going on currently. I can tell you that RLS and Associates is going to be offering a board training, and it's being put on by the gal that Robbie sells, that is the person who owns RLS and Associates, and she has been in business for over 38 years with RLS, and then prior to that she was in transit, and I believe she's an attorney as well. So she is going to be offering an opportunity for board members to take a training, and we'll have the dates for those later. Originally they said May 8th, and I'm like, you can't tell the board to take these classes when they're 2 weeks out. So I think that they're going to try to get those towards the latter part of May or the middle of June. So hopefully that'll all work out. There will be opportunity to attend by watching a recording. And so it would probably be a really good thing for y'all to put that on your, if you're doing a retreat this year or anything like that, but it would be an opportunity for you to get some training from an individual who is a nationwide consultant and has lots of transit experience and lots of board experience. So highly recommend that. And then we are going to have several different trainings throughout the year, starting mostly in the fall, but they're going to be on financial management. We're going to have one on ADA and Title VI. We're also going to have a drug and alcohol one in December. So lots of trainings coming up, lots of opportunity. And then the last funding that we're going to be doing, well, the last two that we're going to be doing this year, STIF is coming up at the end of the summer. So it'll open up in August. And that is for your 27-29 STIF funding. And then right on the heels of that, there is going to be another opportunity for a discretionary grant. And that will be for 2830. Hard to believe that we're already planning out for 2830, but we are. So those are going to be pilot projects. If you have opportunities where you need to get vehicles purchased, new types of services or extending services. So those are the things that you would be for that. So it's going to be both federal and state discretionary, and those will be for a 2-year period, 2830 for that one. So lots of things coming up, lots of opportunities for training. It was really good to see Sherry and Andre and Selena at the Drug and Alcohol Conference. It was a national conference. They had fabulous classes. Learned a lot of things. I knew a lot, but I learned a lot too. I think everybody that attended said that. So it was great. I think UPTD was one of the few that was there from my region. And so it was nice to see y'all attending that national conference, because we don't often get national conferences on the West Coast. So I think that's all I have, unless you have any questions for me. Sherry already got her reports in for this month. So yay, Sherry. And I just processed your payments this afternoon. So woo woo.
Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks, Jennifer. Okay, has everybody had a chance to review the financial report? Anybody have any questions? Yeah, is there any questions or anything you guys want Sherry to give additional information on? Greg, do you or Doug have questions on the financial report?
No.
No.
It doesn't look like there's any significant changes. We're kind of holding where we were previously, correct?
On the financial report?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end, we had a bank balance left of 186,000, in the bank at the end of March. That there was still some outstanding, checks that hadn't cleared, so we really had about 136,000. And I just did, like Jennifer stated, I just did the quarterly reimbursements for Q3, which is a total of 263,969. So that gives us. That gave us about 339,000, maybe a little bit more. And then we just got the Q4 STIF funding. That came in better than it was last quarter, so I was happy about that because my projections, I projected like what we got last quarter. So, anything above that was bonus. So, yeah, all of the funding is in except for the, Q3, 53, 10, and 11, and Jennifer just said she processed them, so I would imagine we might see that.
What
early.
you said that, you said it was higher than you expected, but you didn't give us a number.
It was 500, it was, ooh, now you're gonna ask me, 81,000 on the payroll and then 440,000, I think, on the other, so 500. Which last quarter, I think it was like.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So, yeah, it was like $30,000 more than I had anticipated, so that was good.
Did anybody else have any other questions on the financial report? Greg or Doug?
No.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Motion to approve the financials, right? Like you did that, as written?
Second.
Alright. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Alright. Item 7.2 is the general manager report.
I just have a couple of updates on that, so this is, I sent it to you guys last week. If that's okay.
I wasn't paying attention. It just seemed like that was freaking out, but you were scrolling.
So my projections getting us through the end of this quarter, I'm projecting now that we'll have about 508,000 ending, in June 30th. But that does include the Q4 reimbursements, on our 5311 and 5310. So we should still end the quarter with 200 and some thousand. And then with the reimbursements, that'll bring us up to 508. So that's about where we're gonna start our new budget, beginning balance for our next year's budget that we'll be working on here pretty soon. I do have an update on the rural veteran healthcare grant that we put in. That was a grant that I put in for about 45,000. We did not get the award. I got an email the other day that said that they got about 15 applications totaling more than 2.2 million, which was over 200% of what they actually had available. So probably people that have had it in the past and have been using it for that program probably got a lot of that money, and then they said that, you know, even some of them were gonna probably get less than what they had gotten before. So that was unfortunate, but like Jennifer said, we have put in for four new grants, and that was, I had it listed in general manager report, that was to replace the old transit van with a work truck so that we can, and with a pressure washer and water tank, so that we can better clean the bus shelters. It was replacing 2 of our vans, one that was totaled in December, and then another one that is way past its useful life. The other one is for all of the financial and transit management software that we are lacking. And then the other one was to replace 10 shelters. We kind of picked out the 10 worst of the worst. And because we have to give locations for each one of those, so we have to be very specific. And then Josephine County is heading up another grant that I think was due today. And it is to partner with them and for us to be a purchase service and have a connection out in Wolf Creek with them.
Nice.
So they're putting in for the grant. They will be the grant manager, and we will just get the funding, kind of like we do with Reed Sport, where we just provide them the funding and they do the services. So
Oh, so it'll go Grants Pass to Wolf Creek.
yeah, so Grants Pass will meet us in Wolf Creek.
Oh, they'll meet us though.
They'll meet us. So we went out and we drove it. Andre and Nakia went out and they drove it and then they kind of figured in a couple of spots along the way. So maybe we can get some South County services back.
That's what I was just
We're
gonna
looking
ask,
at about 3 times a day. Is what I thought. I think his application I saw 3 times a day. So we worked up with the mileage and the man hours is for that and gave him all those numbers and then he's building a grant to, I think it's for a 1-year, like a pilot project. But then, like Jennifer said, there's more opportunities coming up later in the year that we could put in for like a 2-year. So hopefully, hopefully that will help us. So we're looking forward to that.
When is the award notification on that one?
Well, it was due today, so I imagine the award, Jennifer might have a better idea of when they're gonna talk about when they award those, Jennifer, the ones that
Yes,
are due
so
today.
the grant awards are not gonna be, they won't be talked about until the fall. And then the funding won't be available until, if it's stiff funding, then it won't be available until July of 27. If they award you with federal funding, then it won't be available until,
Over.
fall of 27, so October 1st. But more than likely, this project they would push towards a stiff. So that would be available in July of 27.
So, okay, so still.
And then the awards, I think, are going to be announced in December of this year, of 26, December, January of 26. So you'll know by that time whether or not you got the funding.
Thank you.
And then on the charging stations, charging stations, we had it listed again at the 135. We had 525 visitors on 1,538 hits and 54 watchers. We didn't get any formal bids, but I did have a gentleman that reached out to me and said he would be willing to offer a lesser amount.
What was it?
The amount was 95,000, so it's considerably less. So I need for the board I have a couple of considerations for you to hear out, and then you guys can decide which direction you wanna go. One of them would be to list them, there it is, okay. Approve, authorization to negotiate and proceed with the sale at the offered price. And of course, any of those proceeds would have to go directly to ODOT once we got them. Number 2 would be to reject the offer and direct the staff to relist the assets at maybe a revised price. And the third option would be maybe to reject the offer and sell them as 3 components. So we were able to Andre got a little camera type scope that he could make a hole in the box and kind of put it in there and see how it was packaged. And I believe that we could sell them each in 3 separate individual stations. And we might get more interest that way. If we take the 135,000 and divide it by 3, it's about 45,000 a piece. But we might have somebody that might be interested in buying 1, but they didn't need all 3. Or buy 2 and not the other. So those would be my recommendations, to maybe, that's what I would be leaning towards, is maybe listing them for the 135,000 divided by 3. And list them each as a separate entity and see
So,
if we get any hits on it that way before we accept 95K unless you guys, and I don't know that, I don't know that he would really come through with it, but he just sent me an email. It wasn't an actual bid.
Is there any conflicts with the site that we listed on to accepting that offsite? So I imagine the site that you listed on gets a permission, right?
We have full control over whatever we can,
But like to get a private offer off of their sites, then that would be, that transaction would not take place through the auction site, right?
no, it would still take place through the auction
Okay,
site.
so that's what I was gonna.
Yes.
Well, I think it wouldn't hurt to potentially counter with him.
Counter at 135.
Yeah, I mean,
We're planning on putting them on.
Well,
My
they
only
were already
concern-
listed at 135.
Oh. Okay.
my only concern is that if the value is there at 45,000 a piece, then somebody would have scooped them up and resold them and split them. And like, if nobody's even doing that, like. Is
But
there
if you
just
have
not a market?
nonprofits that maybe don't have 135K, but they have 45, 45.
I mean, it's a possibility.
I don't know.
Is there a way to adjust the listing to where you can say that they're available to be split?
I could,
Probably repost.
I think you have to
Repost
repost
it.
it. Mhm.
And what is the commission that the site puts? Is there one?
So the buyer, is the one that pays all of whatever the commission is, so I'm not sure what that is, but the buyer is responsible for all of that. They're responsible for shipping and then responsible for the fee. So we don't have any,
I would say re-list them for 130 and if you have to rewrite it and make it. That you can split them.
Do the 45,000 per set.
Sure.
We take the $95,000 off and we're still on the hook for $40,000, aren't we?
No, we're on the hook. for
$252,000.
I missed, okay,
We owe ODOT $252,000.
okay.
We've been listing them and bringing the price down.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
But that's,
So,
it's
this is what we
listed nationwide then, right?
It is, it's a
It's
really
really
good
so-
website and they send us like all the places that they put out the advertising. And we get a lot of people watching it, but there's nobody yet that's.
So can anybody watch it or just people that's in. Like transit?
No, anybody. It's open to anybody that wants to go on their website.
Have we put it out on our social media, the listing? To the other transportation districts and stuff?
No, I mean, I know ODOT knows that we have them. I know that. Josephine County was interested, but there was, an issue with the age of them and some of the computer card and stuff like that, so I don't know that they're gonna do anything. We did meet with Winston, we did have a meeting with the Winston mayor. And they also, expressed a little bit of interest in them possibly with some of their projects that they're gonna have going on in Winston, so. We've got a couple feelers out there and we can list them again on the gov deals. But I just need to know which direction you want to go.
If we drop the price, I wouldn't drop it too much.
Well, I'm thinking if you dropped it to like 120 or 125. But then also put on there, or they can be divided and sold separately for 45. You might get somebody that's like, oh, well,
I'll just take all three then for the, yeah.
for the discount. I mean, I know we're still taking a big hit, but we're also. Sitting on something that's just costing us money every single month we have it, so. To get that liability,
What was the
Reduced.
offer on the table?
95.
95,000.
Okay,
And it's not an official offer. He emailed and I told him that I would have to get. My board to sign off on any negotiated price and told him that we were meeting today. And. Told him I would let him know as soon as I. Have the meeting.
these chargers are a bit of a
I,
thorn in my
Yeah.
side because we had offers for 250,000 when we decided to keep them. And now we're down to our best offer so far has been 95. So I wouldn't keep the price up too much, or we're gonna end up with useless chargers that nobody wants.
Do you still have that person's name? Maybe we can call them back.
That was, I believe that was Rogue Valley Transportation
Oh.
District, and now it's too late.
Yeah, that was,
2 years ago, when
yeah.
finance still issues going on upon us.
I don't know, I mean, I think. Even maybe giving Sherry authorization to negotiate with the current offer. To like 120,
Okay.
I think that's.
and then
I think that
relisting,
would be a good idea.
Yes, we got
And then-
somebody to take them.
we can relist with the option to split maybe.
Okay.
So as a group of three, they're $120,000.
No.
25.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, as a group of three, it'd be 125. I said 120, 120, whatever,
Pick a number.
you guys wanna.
Make it,
Well, so I need to know,
125.
you want me to give the 120 price to the guy that's made the
The
offer?
current offer,
Okay,
yes,
and then
relist at 125.
for 3 or 45 for. each.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
then Andre
has it,
his hand up. Go ahead, Andre.
Yeah, I was just thinking also is we've had a lot of hits on the deals.gov, and the holdup may not be so much the money, it may be the quantity. So I'm thinking maybe if we break them up into 2 dispensers and 1 charging unit, we may get a quicker sale that way, because having that many people looking at it, there's definitely interest. I just don't think they're wanting that many.
I guess my concern is, I mean. Doing all these auctions and stuff too, I would have reached out. If I was really interested, I would have reached out and said, hey, can you split these up? And
Well,
I think the fact that nobody is,
The issue before, Gina, was we didn't have a way to know what was inside the boxes. So we didn't know how to split them up. And with that camera, I could easily tell that there was each box contains a complete dispensing unit, which we didn't know before because we had no idea how they were packaged. So we were selling them as a complete package deal.
right, but nobody's reached out to ask.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
I
It's
don't
like
know
if
if Gov
somebody's
Deals really works
interested-
that way. I'm not sure. Because Gov Deals had it as because they didn't know how they were packaged either. So they wanted to sell the whole thing as a package deal.
Yeah, but now that we know, we can maybe put this is how much for all 3, or we can split them up in there at this much per unit.
Yeah, I just think it might be a quicker way to offload them now that we know what's in each of the boxes, where we didn't know before because they're all sealed. And the lady that came out to visit us on site said since we didn't know what were in the boxes, she was kind of pushing us to sell the whole thing as a conglomerate, not breaking it up.
Right.
Because I think we have to do something like we have to put the numbers on the boxes, right, and take pictures.
Yeah.
So that they know what they're like.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can just number them 1, 2, and 3.
Holding
And
us accountable if that's not what's in there, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
so I just, like I said, just going forward, I think maybe that might be a good option for us, because before we've always tried to sell it as a package. And that was the way it was described on Gov Deals, because they didn't want to break it up either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know from personal experience, even on the Gov Deals and different sites like that, if I'm really interested, I reach out and make an offer. Or I ask if there's a potential to split something up or,
Clarifying.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that vehicles and fleet purchases and different things like that. And if I was really interested, I always reached out. But
Yeah.
also I'm female, that could be part of the problem here, so.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes the way you're trying to sell it may be your own inhibitants too. So I understand both ways. So
Can we put 2 different? Can we have 2 different ads?
I can check with Sabrina and see if we can list them both ways.
Okay.
And then if we, sell one of them, can we modify the one that has the 2?
Right.
And make it 2, and I can ask all those questions, and if we can do that, then I can list them both ways. If not, I'll have to list them as the group and then put in the description that we can Still done. But I'll find out from her.
125 for all three or 45 each?
Yep. 125 for all three or 45.
Each.
Each, and then the current guy that made to counter offer 120.
Correct.
Yeah.
Cause if that was me, I would say, well, I'll just
So
take
we
all
can buy
three.
two.
Does that need to be a motion?
Is that your motion?
Yes.
Second.
Motion second.
So we have a motion to negotiate with the current offer. Up to 100, come down to 120,000
25.
120.
No, he's
No.
120.
for the current offer, 120.
Yes.
If it is not accepted, to relist at 125,000, but give the option to purchase separately for 45,000 per garden.
Yes.
Yep. All right,
So Bill is first, Bill second.
Yes.
Yeah.
and I really hope there's no more discussions. Did you guys have any more, Doug or Greg?
No, that should do it.
No,
Okay, and you guys are both good with that then, so all those in favor,
I,
any opposed? Perfect.
I was an I. I just had a little technical glitch here.
That's all right, thanks, Doug.
And then, like I said, the only other additional update was just that we had met with Winston, which is with the mayor and the city manager on Friday, the 10th. And, had a really good conversation with them, provided them with some service maps and a map that had their flag stops, which they didn't even know part of the route existed. She was like, I didn't even think we were servicing this area anymore, so they were really happy to see the areas that we were servicing. They are going to post stuff on their website for us. We told them that we would continue to collaborate with them. We brought up a couple concerns because we were having some concerns with flesh shelter out there at Abby's. And they said that they would talk to the owner, they have a relationship with him, and they would help in any way that they could to try to rectify the issue that we've been dealing with. And then also because that was one of the areas that we were talking about replacing a bus shelter. And then they did talk about possibly helping out with some financial backing in the future, so they were gonna go back and look at some things. But yeah, all in all, it was a really good meeting, and I think one of the best ones that we've had. Yeah. Okay, so we will continue to collaborate. I've followed up with all the other mayors and stuff. I've been sending them emails and just letting them know. That we would keep them in touch, keep in touch with them about updates.
Good, and I know we talked about in the past, potentially starting to do like one meeting every quarter. In one of the districts we serve, but it's just been. I don't know, fast, so maybe looking at that. And then next one, order on our meeting. That's our next meeting would be in May, so maybe looking at the June meeting for that. Okay. It looks like the grant applications were covered in
The grant applications, I just put them in there so that you could, see the meat and potatoes of what was in the application themselves.
Perfect.
And if you guys had any questions about any of them, they are lengthy and it is a lot. So I didn't have Amira print them out, but I had
No,
her
thank
send them to you. So if you wanted to review them, you could.
I did, thank you.
All right, and that's everyone to know how
Yeah,
long they can be, so.
Yes.
Did we have a compliance update? No,
I mean,
nothing new.
nothing, we had the two that were just waiting, they were just month over month, they had to do them for certain times.
Mhm.
The March one, should be done, and then now I think we have one more that's got a May date. And then the other two, that have been open,
Well,
pending information that we can't provide, they'll just continue to stay open.
Do we have any old business? All right, so it looks like the next thing on the agenda would be new business, which is the local government law group engagement letter. And it looks like Jerry provided, the engagement letter as well as a rate sheet for our current legal representation. And we're just looking at retaining local gov law group, because they handle
Government entity.
government entities. They're more suited for what we're doing.
Special districts,
Mhm.
special districts.
Yes. Did anybody have any questions on the engagement group?
No.
Okay, motion to approve the engagement of local government law group as legal counsel for Umpqua Public Transit District in accordance with the terms and conditions outlined in the engagement letter, including the proposed rate schedule.
I will second.
Oh, he's got him on fancy.
She read it off the
I
sheet.
read it off the sheet.
Alright. Did anybody have any discussion about moving forward with changing the current attorney for the district?
Yeah.
Doug or Greg, sorry, I can't see you guys right now, so I can't tell if you're muted or not.
Nope.
I don't have any questions.
Perfect, all
And we
right,
have gone through the proper procurement process, that's how I have the rate sheet, so we are all with that.
if there is no discussion, we'll go call for a vote, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Greg and Doug are both an aye, any no opposed, so. Alright,
Do I have authorization to sign that engagement letter, or do you want to sign it, please?
if, I don't think there's a problem with you doing it, we voted and approved it, so I would say that you can use this one. Yeah. And then if Lori calls and tells us we did it wrong, then I will say. Did everyone have a chance to review the ridership numbers? Or have any question on them? This is just informational, so no vote needed. All right, if no one has any questions for Sherry on that, we'll move on to the not on agenda items, which I don't think we had them.
Any board member have us not on agenda?
Alright.
Do we have any public comment for on agenda items?
Nope.
Right, doesn't look like there's any online either. So we'll move to public comment for not on agenda items. Doesn't look like we have any in the room or online for that either, so we will build our next agenda throughout the month. And call the meeting adjourned at 6:45 p.m.
Thank you.
Yay.